It seemed fitting to bring you here today and show you this as the backdrop because I want to reference this in regard to what I want to share today. And that is that the littlest known secret of success is that your staying power is equal to your starting power. So what does that mean? Your staying power, your ability to last and be a success is directly connected to what it took to start your endeavor. Let's use some examples. When it comes to music, for some reason I was thinking about music today as an example, and I was struck by the band, the Beatles. So the Beatles, very famous, took the world stage, had a huge rise to fame. Their window was like from 1960 to 1970. And they spent 4 years together as a band before taking the world stage, blowing up and becoming household names. I want to compare them to one of my husband's favorite bands, Rush, which I've gotten to learn and love a lot about them, because they are a band that has lasted or did have an incredible run of 40 years as a band from like 1968 to 2018. Now, these two bands, one spent 4 years building their reputation, building their ability to work together, and then lasted all of 6 years on the world stage. In contrast, I find it interesting that the band Rush took at least 6 years to begin to form. And even then, it was only after those 6 years that the third member did join their band, Neil Peart, the drummer. But those 6 years were very formative before they took the world stage and had the ability to then last for 40 years. Now, it might seem insignificant, these numbers, and I'm sure you can pick them apart. Maybe my analogy won't hold water completely with regard to music, but bear with me for a minute. The idea that there are many overnight sensations. And these overnight sensations to us, there's going to be two groups. We don't know it, but somebody takes the world stage and they're part of either Group A or Group B. Group A is the one that appears to have won the lottery. They have the right manager. They were in the right place at the right time. A lot of doors open for them. And you see this person rocket to fame, whether they're a sports hero, a model, or an actor, an actress, and even business tycoons, and rocket their way to the world stage. In the other group, you have this group I call Group B, that is the ones that really had to grind in a different way, that worked hard on a totally different level. They were the ones putting in the long hours, in the case of music, putting in the tours, or just consistency, right? Consistency, discipline, determination, all those really core values. Both groups may have put much of this into play, but there is a group of people that I would argue does that more, that has to do it for a much longer time, that has to build deeper roots, that has to work much harder to create that success they experience. And what I find is there is a group that has a flash in the pan and dies out. Sometimes they leave a legacy and they're known like the Beatles, but many times they just exit off the world stage and they had their one-hit wonders, so to speak, and they're kind of forgotten. And then there's a group of people that last and last and last, and they have just incredible endurance and an ability to reinvent themselves, to stay relevant with culture, and to keep producing something of value to people. I love how it's incredible, Rush producing the content, we use that word nowadays, but producing the music that they did for 40 years, and the albums they put out, and the tours, and the fans, the dedicated fans that that band had. And what you see is, they were inducted into the Hall of Fame. Was it in 2018 or something? And sadly, Neil Peart, the drummer, died. But what's amazing is that band, the two other guys, Geddy Lee and I can't remember the third, they didn't go on to form another band. They didn't just find another drummer to fill his shoes, to keep growing in success. They celebrated the life of their drummer and their friend and basically family member, and grieved that loss so much that Rush, as Rush was, does not continue to exist anymore. There's also history, honor, and connection, and you see a group of people that are able, like the difference between Rush and that staying power and what you hear about the Beatles and what they did. There's probably a lot of reasons that the Beatles fell apart. Was it they were all vying for, or at least two of them vying, John Lennon and Ringo Starr, for the stage? What kind of infighting, what kind of stuff behind the scenes was happening that caused that group to fall apart? Yes, they might have had separate success after, but the Beatles versus Rush, it's not a toss-up to me as far as staying power and legacy. The fire, this is the other fitting metaphor I just felt would be pertinent today. It's easy to build a quick fire, but to build a fire that produces heat, that can eat a whole house, and that you can cook over, that is steady, that is long burning, has coals, that even when the flames go out, there's deep coals there, that it doesn't take but a breath or a lot of puffed air to get it back to life. Those coals are long lasting, right? That there's, even when the flames die down, there's heat, there's power, there's energy, it's latent, and it can come back to life quickly. More than anything, we love the beauty of our fireplace and enjoy that. And so there's a lot of similarities to what I want to share today in just the visual of this fireplace. We're growing. If you stumbled on my channel, chances are you're looking to build success in your life. You're looking to create and grow and find new tools and get new vision and do more and be more in your life. And I'm all about that. And I'm going to encourage you on that journey. One of the biggest things I want to challenge you with today is the littlest known secret to success. Do you want to have the easy road and therefore the easy exit? Or are you willing to put in that extra grind? Are you willing to develop discipline and determination and faithfulness and consistency and all these deeper values? My marriage, we took years to begin to hit our success. We struggled. The financial tension, building 3 businesses, almost tore us apart many times. And yet the success that we've started to realize in the last 4 years, but particularly the last 3 years, I would say, has been finding a way to work together, to use each other's strengths, and not to be knocking heads consistently, but joining forces, holding hands, and finding strength in that. And I can speak to this in my own marriage in an example too. So I hope this sparks something in you, no pun intended. My name is Andrea Brown. Please like or subscribe. Every comment, like, and subscription helps, especially in the beginning. Thank you so much. Appreciate you today and look forward to sharing more down the road.